I don't know what to say. I don't know. What's up? How you doing, Ray of Sunshines? I am your girl, Talisa Ray, lifestyle coach. We are reviewing Ready to Love season number 3, episode number 9, second choices, second chances. Woo! If it's your first time visiting my channel, definitely click the subscribe button and become a ray of sunshine. As a ray of sunshine, you won't want to miss any video I upload, so click the notification bell. And honestly, you've been here several times. I'm not sure as to why you have not clicked subscribe yet. Is it me? Is it something I could do different? Let me know down below in the comments. Like, what is it going to take you who keep coming back to watch my reviews to hit subscribe? What, huh? Tell me. So when the scene opened up, you know, it's finished from previous where they got rid of Brian and Simone, and you see Jay and Winter walk out to the pool and put their feet in the pool and sit down and have a little conversation, a heart to heart. And pretty much we didn't get to see the conversations that Tommy had with everybody last week. Those one-on-one conversations, we missed the Winter one and the Jay one. And Winter straight up went in and asked Jay, so how did you answer Tommy's question? If you had to walk away with one tonight, who would it be? Sometimes I feel like my girl is a little bit of a glutton for punishment because she doesn't have to ask. He told her already at the brunch. He does it in his actions, and I don't know if it's like questions that producers are asking them to ask, but to hear him say it, for her to ask, to know it is one thing, but to hear him say it out of his mouth directly to you, I guess is an entirely another thing, because he definitely said, I would leave with joy. Listen, it's hurtful. That's hard to hear, that you are number 2. No matter what your gut tells you, no matter how much, you know, you look around and you see, no matter how much it was indirectly stated, him saying it directly to you hits a little different. And so when he said, well, who was your choice? And she said, Jay, it was you. You know what I'm saying? You. He kind of winced because he too knows that hit different, like what? And so, you know, this little conversation isn't really a surprise to us. We knew what it was, and honestly, our girl Winter knew what it was too. So as I come on, I'm like, is she a glutton for punishment, or is this just something that they keep asking her to say and do? So then we get over to Tommy's Tavern, and he's talking to the fellas because one lady has to go this week. And he tells them this week it's about vulnerability. It seems like it's been about vulnerability at least 3 different times, right? Specifically for the men. But the twist is they have to take out their number 2 choice and get to know them and figure out what it is about them that they like or that they do not like. You know, and I thought it was very admirable that right after or the next day or whatever, when he saw Jay that is, he went in to say, listen, I want to have this conversation with you. I have to take out Winter. She's my number 2. I don't want you to feel any kind of way. I kind of like that he went ahead and told her. Like, I was like, okay, that way there's no questions and she's not feeling some kind of way. That's how you also know that he likes her, that it's important that he shares this. So I want you to understand where I'm coming from. I want to protect your feelings. So I think that that's really a huge thing when a man really likes you. And you know, shit, I could be wrong. Y'all let me know down below in the comments. Then we see Rasheed and Alex, and Rasheed talks to Alex and says, hey, listen, both of the people that we were interested in are gone, and so I want to use this opportunity to get to know you better. You see Adriana on the side over there like side-eyeing. Guess she got a little green-eyed monster in her as well. She ain't exempt from feeling some kind of way, because I guess she thought Rasheed didn't have any other connections. And since we're on Alex and Rasheed, let's just talk about their date. Let's get it out the way before we start talking Kalfani and Denise. So they go and have this like little fondue date, right? Have some wine and some fondue. Y'all know, chocolate covered, whatever, strawberries or fruit, Rice crispy treats, cookies, whatever. That's because it's the chocolate fondue fountain. And as they're sitting there, we find out that there was also an assignment provided, that they have cards that they have to read and answer the questions, because it helps to open up and bring up, you know, like the vulnerability, right? Help you address some of the issues and be more vulnerable. There's the right phrase that I want. First question out of Rasheed's mouth is, have you ever sabotaged a relationship because it wasn't perfect or because you want it to be perfect? But pretty much, have you ever sabotaged a relationship? I'm asking y'all that too. I want to know down below in the comments. Her answer was yes, sort of, kind of, in a way. She was dating somebody, and you know, every time he would try, she was shooting down, which is sort of sabotage. And I'm gonna be honest, I have sabotaged a relationship. Since I asked you to answer the question, I want to answer it too. I did. I sabotaged a relationship because of my own insecurities, right? My own shit. Not being confident enough and standing in my own beauty, like I tell y'all to do all the time. I sabotaged it. No matter how much he reassured me, I was still, nah, that ain't what it is. Who wants to deal with that all the time? Nobody. I know I don't. I can't really remember the question that Alex asked Rasheed, but it was about being vulnerable. And what he said now is, I think he is now able to be vulnerable. But in his previous marriage, it was harder because she was independent. Like, she didn't really need him. And then they had a baby, and she really didn't need him. Like, she was self-sufficient previously, and she's self-sufficient now. And the fact of the matter is, men want to be needed. They need to be needed. So the moment that his wife no longer needed him, what was the point? Like, now I feel lost. Men want to be needed. And women, we need to be desired. We want to be wanted. Like, I am more attracted to you when you desire me, when you make me feel wanted, like you want me, right? Not that you need me, but that you want me and that I add value to you. I wrote down, Rasheed is really, really ready to love. And just the way he articulates how he feels, I'm not sure if it's an act. I'm not sure if this isn't really how he feels, but right now, he's got me. Okay, right now, I'm all like, tell me more. Let me hear. Tell me more. How did you change? Oh, what's your relationship like with your mom? Like, I want to hear more about him. He makes me in this particular moment. And then to top it off, Adriana goes on to talk about, Alex goes on to talk about her previous domestic violence thing and got an entirely different response than she did with Brian. He actually was engaged, asked her how she felt, asked her if she was healed, like really, truly was interested in what she was saying and her growth. And what's funny was, Alex was not able to articulate her real feelings. Like, it seemed like she was caught up to me. Like, the words didn't flow out as naturally as it did with Brian, because someone was actually paying attention to what she was saying. I might have misread that, and if I did, y'all let me know down below in the comments, okay? Then he also gave her a little insight, because she said she didn't want to be hurt again, and he said, listen, let me tell you something. We as men have a fear of being hurt as well. We don't want to be hurt. We don't want to go into a relationship and be hurt. Like, is that what you think we're doing? Men have the same fears as women do. We just show them differently. They just show up differently. Okay, so let's talk about Khalfani and Denise. Somehow Denise is still delusional, as if she's like got this excellent connection with Khalfani. She's already like married and has 5 kids, okay, with Khalfani. He has moved on to Adriana, because Khalfani unfortunately did not do like Jay or Rasheed and say we had to take our second person out. He just said, I wanted to reconnect with you, see if we still have something going. Can we have a date? On their date, he gives her a massage. That woman has a body for the gods, okay? Gives her a good massage. You know she's enjoying it. Massages are very much so intimate. very much so should connect you. If you like somebody, your bird is chirping when they give you a massage. After the massage, he pulls out the questions, okay? And he asks, when did you last feel most loved and vulnerable? And she said 19 years ago. And the reason being is she hasn't felt loved or been vulnerable in all that time, is because she needed to get to know herself. She needed to get reacquainted with who she was and to love herself. Like, listen, I get it, but it don't take 19 years. But remember, she was also in a really bad relationship out of her mouth. So, of course, during that time, she wouldn't feel loved or vulnerable, right? But I guess he might have been looking for more of an answer, and that was the time to provide some insight into who she was, and she felt like she did, and I felt like she kind of left him hanging. But again, we might have missed some of the stuff. Just let's be honest. For Denise, the question was to Kalfani, what are you looking for in a relationship? Are you looking for a mother for your child? I didn't know that he was a single father. I probably missed that in the casting episode, child. I didn't know, which made, makes him more attractive to me. The mom isn't around. I feel like any man that steps up and takes care of their responsibilities is a winner. And really, to me, that's sad that I have to say it, because that's something that happens frequently in the Black community, the absence of fathers. So that's why it's so high, like, if you have children, on my list, that you are a father to your children and are active in their lives. So he says, yes, I want a mother figure. I need her to be dependable. I need her to be able to communicate. But he took it a step further and opens up and tells what his biggest concern with Denise is. And it's her insecurities as it relates to when they leave, like the job that he does. Like, is there going to be a problem? I mean, he's an attractive man to a lot of women. He does probably have a lot of female clients. And is that going to be a problem? He said, my concern, let me get it right. He told her, my concern with you is, and she came back and said, with all women, Denise, you wasn't listening. You wasn't listening. He said, my concern with you. What you got to appreciate, he did not generalize. Like, I appreciate you telling me that something is wrong, or something that needs to, not wrong, but that could be adjusted. That is a trigger to you. Kudos to you, Cal. He went on to go further and say, I haven't seen that in a while from you, but it is a trigger and it is a concern. And she kind of like did not reassure him, because in her confessional, she was like, I like him, so there's going to be some jealousy that you need to process. Yes, jealousy is a natural emotion. It is something that we all have felt at one time or another, and will probably feel again, but we have learned how to process and deal with that. Yes, I mean, I know I get jealous every now and again, but I process that shit. Because why am I feeling jealous? What is it that I'm competing with? What about me feels inadequate? Like, that I'm not enough? Because that's a lot of places where the jealousy stems from. I'm not inadequate. I'm more than enough. I'm more than worthy, right? So if we remember that, then that'll help diffuse those jealous situations. He said that he was still uneasy about it. Like, she didn't reassure him. She was supposed to say something like, you know what? Yes, I am learning to keep myself in check. She did say, we're all a work in progress or whatever, but he needed a little more. Like, you needed to really explain, like, I apologize. I let my emotions get the best of me. I understand where we are now and that you're getting to know people. You know what I'm saying? Like, she should have come with that. But I feel strongly for you, and I needed to process that emotion. And that is why I have made such strides, right? That would be the more appropriate thing to say, but I could be wrong. Y'all let me know down below in the comments. Come through and help me understand what I missed with Denise. Did she do it right? I don't think so. We're gonna have to agree to disagree. We've come to an impasse if you think that she responded correctly, okay? So then we see Joy and Edwin. Edwin says that he could potentially fall in love with Joy. I wrote down Close your shirt. Button up another button. Please, sir. Thank you. You can tell that he is all the way into her and that she's willing to give him the opportunity to get to know her and to move, because he, you know, what did she say? That he was grown, that he was easy, that he, I don't know, but whatever it was, she said that she liked him, right? That there were qualities about him that she liked. That would be better. So when they got other questions, first off, let's talk about the date, sitting out there. They're not eating ever nowhere. All they always have is some wine. However, the ambiance was really great. With the stream lights, it was really beautiful. He asked her, what mistakes did you make in your marriage that you vowed never to do again? And she said, I lost sight of who I was. I put more effort and energy into him and lost me. She said it could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. And when it's a bad thing, it's you lose yourself in the other person and you find yourself trying to please them. I could understand this entirely because I give my whole self when I care about somebody, all of me, sometimes too much to my detriment, and have to be sure to keep that in check and to be like, take care of you first. You are the #1 priority. Do not find yourself wrapped up so far into somebody that you have lost yourself. Like, that's a lot of things. That's a lot of things. That's a big thing for a lot of women, because by nature we are nurturers, and so as such we can easily lose sight of who we are. You know, when she talked about her work, she said that she was going to get it, you know, that she has a therapist. And then Edwin says, you know, I'm really going to get one. You keep bringing it up. I'm going to get me a therapist. And I think that we all would agree that that's a great idea. She recommends that he gets one that specializes in PTSD. Yeah, make sure you go see the right therapist, the right coach, the right person for what it is that you need. She asks him, what do you need from a woman that you have been scared to ask for in the past? And he said support. That he doesn't ask for help. And it's because of, you know, he's always done it for himself. Like, I get it. Then Joy asks, what is the biggest fear you have about the person sitting in front of you? What is the biggest fear about the person sitting in front of you? Yeah, that was right. And he said that she won't accept me for who he is. That she won't accept him for who he is, but that's really his own shit, because she's really not that kind of person. His words, not mine. I kind of paraphrased a little bit, but a lot of times our own fears, our insecurities have to do with our own shit that we have to process. Again, it's the, am I good enough? That's what that is. If I'm afraid that you won't accept me, it's because I think that I might not be good enough, or that I'm too much. It's our own shit that we have to work through. I'm telling y'all because I know something. Then they get up and do a little slow dance to no music. I love an impromptu dance. Like, that's a thing for me. Like, I love it. So she says in her confessional that she thinks that he's an amazing man, but she's not quite sure if he's ready yet. Now listen, this is ridiculous. Let's talk about Winter and Jay and their stargazing date. I was like, right now, this is almost like torture for me to watch. Like, they go and they look cute and they go to the grass and sit down and stargaze. Very intimate date. He shows her the Aquarius formation in the stars, because that's her sign. And, you know, she's all like, there's always some type of chemistry between the two of us. Blase, blase, blase. They sit down. They start having some wine. They start with their questions. And her first question to him was, if a friend says to you that you think the relationship is more serious than what it is, what do you do? Listen, he says he can't answer that question. The point of this is being vulnerable, right? Being able to speak your truth. And so what? That ain't never happened to you because you always got it under control? I don't think so, sir. I don't think so. And you're doing Winter a disservice right now. But are you doing her disservice? Actually, she's doing herself a disservice by continue talking to you when you keep giving these shallow ass answers and not really coming through as your whole self and being vulnerable and open and honest with her. I think she might have got it this date. Yeah. Oh, hold on. In her confessional, she says that his vulnerability level is about a 4. She giving him more than he was. I gave him about a 2. But then he asked her, do you think you have a habit of dating emotionally unavailable men? Let's just talk about what emotionally unavailable is, right? That means you have a difficulty trusting other people. You don't open up. You're not vulnerable. You don't be honest, really. Everything is all surface. So when he asked the question, I thought to myself, oh, Jay, it's you, because she adores you. She likes you and really was hopeful, and you are emotionally unavailable. You are actually all in over here with Joy, so you're not available for our girl Winter to really connect with her. And so she said, yeah. She said, you know, because I'm a helper and I'm a fixer. And I just want y'all to know how that resonates with me so much. I find myself dealing with men who are emotionally unavailable, who aren't ready for me, who might be in other relationships, who aren't honest with me. Like, it's a thing. I don't fix nobody. You got to come with your whole self now. But I totally relate. I'll put in a couple batteries to help you operate, but I'm not finna. You need to be your whole ass self. You need to be healed, whole, emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally stable to come this way. You heard? Okay. So I didn't like it, but she said it. Why haven't you kissed me yet? Well, Winter, he hasn't kissed you because he hadn't had the urge, because he really doesn't like you. And you know that, though. You know already how he feels about you. You know that he likes you, that you cool, but you ain't it. And honestly, you have to kind of respect the fact that he is standoffish, that he has already, but really, does he really like Joy too? But if you look at the grand scheme of things, he's really trying to, like, keep things cordial. But is he trying to keep her on the back burner, like real low, in case the fire goes out with Joy? Like, I don't know, but I know I said that the kiss that he gave her was on the cheek. Remember, he gave Joy a kiss on the cheek too, but Joy took it up on herself to be like, kiss me on the other side, now kiss me on the lips. She had no problem taking charge, but Winter was like, you gonna give me this kiss? And then did you see her face? Total and utter disappointment. Like, seriously? That's what you gonna give me? And she said it in her confessional. Like, we got all this chemistry going and this what you gave me? I was disappointed too. Then we see Rasheed, who makes his way to Adriana to spend some time with her. And he brings her a gift. Says because she likes to sing, here's a notepad for you to write down your song. It was thoughtful. It was very thoughtful of him. He didn't have to bring her shit, but he did. And as such, he kissed her, and I wrote down, it's not as electric as the kiss she gave Calfani. Like, it was one of them. I told y'all how I feel about kissing. I feel like I'm a great kisser. I feel like when you kiss for the first time, like, you are trying to figure out each other's rhythm, but the first time is still there's a linger to it. And so they had too many successions of, like, the kiss, kiss, kiss. I mean, Rasheed was enjoying it, but Adriana was kind of pulling back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm wondering if Calfani is her top at this point in the juncture, okay? He expresses to her that, yes, he does like Alex, but Adriana, you are my priority. Okay, listen. You are my priority, and even though she might not like him as much as she did, you gotta feel a kind of way. You gotta feel some kind of good about being somebody's you're a priority to me. I like you. I want to be around you. I want to spend time with you. You gotta feel good about that. When Rasheed asked, you know, I really want to know how you're feeling, and her answer was, I don't know. I was like, ooh, girl, you don't know, you do know. You just don't want to hurt his feelings. You don't want him to know that it's Calfani. You guys are, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be clear. You just trying to make sure you stay in. If you got two men vying for your attention, there is definitely a possibility, huge possibility, that you'll be in the end. We already know Adriana is gonna be one of the two people at the end, I think, along with Joy. So there's that. we see Winter and Anthony go on a date, and they have like a little badminton date. And if he wins, he gets a kiss from Winter, and if she wins, she kisses him and gives him a piggyback ride, or he gives her a piggyback ride. Help me, y'all. She won, and they had a little peck. I wish they would have stopped at that little peck, versus when they went and sat down and started asking the questions. And she asked him, have you ever been in love before? And he said, no, I've never been in love. And it was, I almost, but I stopped it because my love was for football, and I was doing a disservice, okay? I know some of you guys think that's very admirable because you believe that, you know, a man never falls in love again after his first love, or whatever people say. This is what they say. I don't know. I'm not a man, right? I don't know, and I don't know about that because I'm not a man. Okay, we should ask a few men, is that true? Do you ever get over your first love? Help us out. Help us understand. Let us know down below in the comments. And, you know, Winter sees it as a red flag, as would most women. Like, okay, so why haven't you been in love? Is it something that you're doing? Is it something, you know, that's not progressing? Are you not available? Like, it's a whole lot of questions that could go through your mind. But I really wrote down, I'm not really sure about Anthony. There's something about him that I'm unsure of. I don't recall her question, but her answer was what she needed, because she's an alpha female. She's an entrepreneur. She's an independent woman. Listen, I don't know how many of y'all relate to this, but I do. Independent, strong, always doing things yourself, and you need an alpha man to come home to so that you can be able to shed that boss mentality and operate in your femininity and be soft, because you're always so on as a boss, you know. And boss doesn't necessarily mean like you have employees, but the fact that you are career driven, and you have to, as a black woman, be at a specific place, that she needs the help to turn it off. Baby, let me tell you something, because, you know, I get off work, I'm still the boss. I got 2 children. My extra stream of income as a wife coach, I'm still a boss. Like, everything I do, I'm still a boss. And I do want to be able to shed that and be soft and sensual and operate in my femininity, and just really understand that I don't want to be all tough all the time. But once you've been operating like that for so long, it's hard to turn it off. And you need to feel safe and secure in order to do it. So you need the right type of man that will make you feel that way. Like, it's a thing. It's a whole ass thing. So then he goes in to kiss her. And maybe it was just at the rhythm, but that shit was so uncomfortable to me. That's a session of pecs or whatever. He tried to go in and hug her, like hold her face or whatever, but it was very awkward to me, like uncomfortable to watch. I don't know. How did y'all feel about the chemistry in that kiss? Let me know down below in the comments, because I wasn't feeling it. So then you see Edwin and Joy on the couch. And the conversation, I don't know how y'all felt it, but you know, he was very much, you know, you push me when I need to be pushed, you comfort me when I need to be comforted, like you're exactly what I need. And if you don't choose me, I've been honored to be in your life. You've already made me a better person. Like, then she goes on to say how great of a guy he is. And I really think, I was just basically reading the energy. Like, she teared up and he teared up, and really it was a low-key breakup. It was really because he said, if you don't choose me. And she said, I want you to know that you are an amazing person, or a grown-ass man, or whatever the hell she said. But it felt like a little bit of a breakup. It felt like, you know, you're not ready for me. I don't know, did anybody else get that feeling? It was very emotional, very touching. You could feel it through the screen, but I really feel like it was her farewell song to him. Like, I need you to heal first. I need you to, you know, be better first. And I'm glad that I was able to help you, but I need you to be whole before you come to me. I don't know, that I might have read it wrong. And if I did, tell me. Let me know your perspective on it, because that felt like the silent breakup, that you are a really great person and this is really hurting me and I want the best for you. You know that shit. You know that shit, but it was genuine, right? So now it's elimination day, child. And Tommy goes around the room. Everybody enjoyed their date. However, Calfani said, you know what, I still have though she hasn't been jealous, it's like I'm waiting for the bomb to drop. Like, when is the next time she gonna be jealous and in her feelings about some shit? I wrote down, it is always hilarious watching the men faces when another man is talking about a love interest. Like Jay's face when Edwin talks about Joy, because he does talk about Joy like he's in love already, right? Like, I adore her, which is what he said on the couch. You know what I mean? Like, she's my world, like everything. And then you saw when Anthony was talking about Winter. Anthony definitely has some serious facial expressions, because I paused it because I was on the phone and I was like, huh? Look at that facial expression. Huh? Anyway, Tommy asks, if you had to choose one today, who would it be? Edwin and Jay both said Joy. Rasheed, Adriana. Calfani, Adriana. Anthony said Winter and Denise, and he said you have to choose one. That's because he don't like really neither one of them. However, he gets Winter and she etched up, and so it's Winter. So the people on the bottom and subject to elimination were Alex and Denise. And here we have Denise down here for the 4th time. Like, she is skating by the hair of her chinny chin chin. When I look at Anthony, I forget how fit he is. And that's the thing that Winter liked about him, was his body, okay? Body, yada, 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 yada. Not for men, okay? I don't like when I see the men do the dance. But Anthony has to talk to Denise and tells Denise, if you had to pick somebody today, who is your number one? Pick B. And she says Calfani. I mean, it is what it is. And he says, you know what? I want you to stay because I want us to get to know each other and have a more spiritual connection and be more vulnerable with one another, because that's what she said she liked about Calfani, that she connected with him first, right? And listen, Denise don't like Anthony at all. She's dating him just because Calfani is dating Adriana. She doesn't really like him. You saw that in their date last week. You see it when she's sitting with them. And then you have Calfani, who has to talk to Alex and tells Alex how he wanted the opportunity to really get to know her, but he didn't get a chance. All of a sudden, you could have met and talked with her in week 1, week 2. I don't care if Brian had attached himself. Like, if you like something as a man, like, for real, you'll go after it, like you did Denise, like you did Adriana. But did he? He didn't. He actually allowed those women to choose him, which is what he said he always does anyway. Right? Nevertheless, because of her connection with Brian and how she did herself a disservice so quickly, she goes home. Y'all, let me know what you think about this episode down below in the comments. Listen, Alex was bound to go home. Who's the next man to go home? So you got Edwin, Anthony, Rasheed, Calfani, and who else? Edwin, Anthony, Rasheed, Edwin, Anthony, Jay. Who's going home? It's not going to be Jay. It's not going to be Calfani. I don't think it's going to be Rasheed, but I don't know because he has connection with one person. Could be Anthony. It's not going to be, it could be Edwin. It's going to be out of Anthony and Edwin. Y'all let me know who you think leaving next week. I am your girl, Talisa Ray. Thank you so much for watching my review of Ready to Love Season 3, Episode number 9. Again, if it's your first time visiting my channel, definitely click the subscribe button and become a ray of sunshine. Right there is the notification bell. Click it too so you're alerted of videos when I upload this. when I upload. Like this video, share this video with your friends. Tell your people how much you love me, because I love you too. I love you in real life and want every good thing that God has in store for you, even if you don't know what that is for yourself. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll catch you on the next review.